Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We're live today, and we're kind of in the middle, still, I guess, in the early stages of this coronavirus social isolation. And I'm curious. I just wanted to kind of do like a live chat with you guys and find out what you all are doing to stay busy. How many of you are out of work? How many of you are working but working from home? And how many of you are actually still able to go to work? I figured I'd share with you a little bit about what I have been doing, and then some news. There's as of right now, it looks like product is still coming out. Gaming product is still working, still shipping, still coming out. We've got some Legion products that look like they're coming out April 8th, I believe. So that's pretty cool. That should mean people start, pre-orders will start getting shipping notices in about a week or two. So that's pretty fun. And for those of you who are, stuck at home, do you doing any fun hobbying, any painting, any craft projects, and any gaming with the family? I know I am starting to go through some gaming withdrawals because I just got my two new tanks painted. Got my tanks painted, and I've got my Bad Batch tank here, and I even did the driver, kind of like the Bad Batch. He's kind of black and gray, or red and gray rather. And then I did my 501st tank, which was supposed to be white and blue, but came out more of like a light blue and dark blue with some gray thrown in there. But yeah, so the 501st tank is kind of come out pretty good, and I did him angled a little bit more so that the pieces aren't straight; they're like angled down a little bit. But yeah, so he came out pretty fun, pretty well. Some of you guys working from home, some people doing some painting. You got a gaming table built, Nick. Wow, very cool. TTS Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Wow. So I was actually supposed to have a game of Twilight Imperium 4th edition this weekend, which is now going to fall apart. And TTS is one of those things I have not been really able to do. By the way, if you guys play Legion, check out the Legion Discord. They're doing kind of like an homage to Worlds in Tabletop Simulator. Anybody who had a Worlds invite, you're going to get a chance to play in the Tabletop Simulator tournament. And that's going to be happening the same weekend as Adepticon. So that's pretty cool. But yes, let's see. What else do we have going on? I painted, I think I've got everything painted now. Or for Legion. I think I've got everything painted. Not everything is painted well, but I think everything is painted. Let's see. I've got my droids all done, including the B2s. And you know what? I'm gonna there. Are we back? Are we back? All right. All right. Sorry, a little hiccup. But yeah. All right. So let's see. Yes. All right. So let's see. We've got these guys with the silver or the blue base. It's like a metallic blue. And let's see, we've got the silvery guys, a little bit more standard, with the silvery base. And that's one thing I definitely encourage people to do, is to do their bases with different ring colors. Like if you can see my B1s here, like each unit type, and I have them lined up in a row. Like this is all one unit. They have the purple bases, then I have the orange bases, and then the blue bases, then the green bases, then like the tan bases, and then the black bases. Now for the special units, I give them different colored bases for the trooper upgrade pack. But it's okay to have one dude with a different base in there. But yeah, that's one thing I definitely recommend, because it's a great way to tell them apart, especially like B1 super battle droids. They get mixed in and lost amongst stuff. I need to get more Magna Racks. I've been also doing a little more Marvel Crisis Protocol. You ordered an entire 6x3 LV427 Studios video. Wow, that's our table because of my videos. That's nuts. So I've got all my Marvel Crisis Protocol in this old. This is a Christmas tin, by the way, and the dog is barking. But yeah, so I've got all of this painted. I've got a few more unpainted. Some of the more recent Marvel Crisis Protocol, like the Guardians of the Galaxy and that stuff. I haven't painted those yet. They're primed. They're on my table, ready to be painted. And also, I got something new. I got this whole kit. Now, this thing was actually pretty cool. It's a Vallejo kit. And this is a rust and stain and streaking kit for like tanks and stuff like that. For the AATs, when they show up, it's a lot of browns and reds and earth tones. And I think this will be perfect for the AAT when it shows up. There's airbrush paints in here. There's a dark red rust colored wash. And then a couple of colors that I was just kind of lacking, at least in the dropper bottle format. And so like this whole thing, like I got this at Hobby Lobby. They're normally like $5.99 each at Hobby Lobby for a single thing of paint. This one has 8 of them, and it was $25, and I had a 40% off coupon. So I got this for like $15, which is a pretty good price for that many paints. So, yes. So what have you guys been up to? Anybody doing any gaming with the family? Let's see what else is going on with you guys. Making Mos Eisley buildings, very cool. I am a lot of people. So I see some people in Denmark have not gotten phase 2 or the tank yet. Yeah, so a lot of people have not gotten phase 2s yet. That one is a really interesting situation. I don't know what's going on with phase 2s. My local store hasn't gotten them yet either. The only reason I have mine is because I pre-ordered. And yeah, that came out really strange too. Like that entire pre-order thing was really weird. Hi there to Germany. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for watching with me this afternoon. So while we do have this social distancing and this semi lockdown, it's not a full lockdown. I'm still working currently, although I'm going day to day right now because once they close down our building, then we're done and they're sending us home without pay. So every day I'm able to go to work, I'm very fortunate and I'm very happy. But for the rest of the time, I'm not able to go to work. So each day, that's great. I don't know what's going to happen, in the future. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have a job after lunch because I'm on my lunch break right now. So I have no idea, but we'll do the best we can. And hopefully this thing will peak here pretty soon, because gaming is, something we'd like to do. There's some. So, are you guys doing any PC gaming or video gaming? I was thinking of doing some streaming maybe this weekend, some video game streaming. We've got a new Doom that comes out tomorrow, I think, which is pretty fun. Let's see. You're getting some of your friends into Crisis Protocol, which is very cool. I see some other people are painting. They're doing some painting of their droids, which is exciting. I'm going to move you guys over with me a little bit. We're going to look at the new Armada setup because some of you guys have seen... I'm going to angle this down a little bit. There we go. So I'm guessing some of you guys have seen my Armada setup. I need to move a few things out of the way here because I have a couple of ships that are out right now. But I used to have these big white boxes down here, and now I've got the Magna racks. I've got all of my squadrons on these magnetic racks from the last video. So that much is really cool. Then I've got all the ships here. I actually have the Imperial Nebulon on the Imperial side, although I should be technically on the Rebel side because they still stole it. But it looks so good with the Imperials. And then, of course, I can, turn on lightsabers and stuff to light it up if need be. But yeah, so I like that. I think when Clone Wars for Armada comes out, I'm gonna need to get some kind of different shelving system because that's not going to be big enough. I'm convinced of that much. Um, let's see what else is new. Let's Outer Rim. By the way, anybody playing Outer Rim? Outer Rim has got a new expansion coming out at some point. I imagine that'll get announced either during Adepticon weekend or at Gen Con during the in-flight brief. I think there's a lot of stuff they were probably going to announce at Gen Con, and now since they can't, it will probably become online announcements. I got to clean up in here now. I've been doing some reorganization, and it's a big mess. And what have I got in there? Oh, I got more squadrons in there. Well, I got to do some more magnetization. All right, let's clean things up a little bit. Let's see what else is new. Did I show you guys my my phase 2s? Let's see. So I've got these are all my phase 1s. Now they all have the same bases, but they have different colored different colored themes. So this one's got like gray cracks, and this one's got like red cracks and green cracks and stuff like that, and different colored armor. Whereas my phase 2s, I went all in on giving them totally different bases. So that much is cool. And then the specialty packs are over on this side. I did one whole group without the helmets. And then I've got R2 and 3PO and Rex and Obi-Wan in the back, and then the Barks behind them. So I've got pretty much the entirety of my clones on one sheet, minus the tanks, of course, because those I absolutely can't fit. My favorite board game, that's a tough one. That is definitely a tough one because there's not a if I had to just pick one answer off the top of my head, I might go with Twilight Imperium 4th edition. I might go with that one. But it's not a guaranteed thing because that one is kind of requiring a couple of things. Like it's got the highest ceiling, I think. Because if you've got like 6 people and they all know how to play and they are good players, and you've got the time and the space, and if the stars line up, it's probably the best overall board game experience. If you've only got one person besides yourself, then Rebellion. Of course, you also need the time and the space because Rebellion's also a long game. So, there we go. Rebellion and Twilight Imperium 4th edition, kind of tied, or very, very close to it. But since TI4 works really well with more players, you can have a little bit more enjoyment for all. So TI4 kind of gets an edge out that way. If you have less experienced players, I'm going to say Nemesis. Because that one's got a partial cooperative aspect to it, so it kind of lends itself towards helping each other out a little bit. Although you're trying to win, so you don't want to help each other too much. But it's still a winner. But it's a really good blend of bluffing and cooperative and hidden objectives and social deduction and all of that stuff. So that one is also up there. Gosh, what else? Is there anything else I want to throw in like the top, like close to top? There's a lot of them that I really do enjoy that are close to up there, like Zombicide, Lords of Hellas, heck, even Pitch Car sometimes. Dixit is a really good one too. Ticket to Ride's solid. I'm just looking at the board games that I have. Usually if something ranks that high, I usually end up buying it. So that's kind of one of those reasons why I'm looking at my own ones. And one more that's really, really high up there is Rising Sun. Rising Sun is definitely one of my favorites also. And recently, Blood Rage, I got that, and that one seems like fun. I haven't played it a whole lot yet, though. That's one I want to play more. You just got your Corona Stay Busy things, your 2nd Legion core set, Shore Troopers, Scouts. All right, very, very cool. Um, let's see. Yeah, people tempted to getting into Legion or any of these other games. Well, this is a great time to learn about them. Um, how do I feel about resource management games like Lords of Waterdeep? I have played Lords of Waterdeep a few times. I do enjoy it. I actually bought it for my phone for a while and played it a few times, although it's a little bit difficult to play on the phone because it's a bigger board and it's just, I don't think it's one of those games that lends itself really well to mobile. But no, I like Lords of Waterdeep. I generally like it a little bit more when a game has really gorgeous components and lends itself to being like having a beautiful table presence. And Lords of Waterdeep doesn't have that for me. I mean, like it's got cubes, and I don't usually like cubes, but I can look past that sometimes. And yeah, Lords of Waterdeep is all right. I don't have a whole lot of resource management games. I've got a game called New Frontiers, which is a board game, a different version on Race for the Galaxy. I really like that one. That was a very fun one for me, and it doesn't take as long. I like I definitely like the potential for certain Euro resource management kind of games. It just has to, I guess, it just has to hit me at the right time and space. You know. Let's see what else is new. So I've been doing a lot of painting. Starting to run out of stuff. I got a couple more Marvel Crisis Protocol. I've got a lot more Battlestar Galactica unboxings to do. I haven't come down to that yet. Also, for all of you fans of like the LV-427 terrain, I've got some more of that to show you. That should be coming up this weekend, so look out for that. There's some really, really nice stuff that I have to show you from LV-427. And if you haven't seen already my recent battle report, that one was pretty fun. Oh, I've got a funny story to tell you. So if you guys didn't already know, we started a podcast, the Double Critical podcast, and it had a absolute epic fail yesterday. So we were recording, and had a really good episode going. Had a special guest on there, and we were recording, and it was a longer episode, and we finally got done, said goodbye, thank you, all that yada yada, closed off, start editing, and that night I realized there was no audio. So while we could hear each other, my software wasn't picking up any of the audio, and I didn't check. I didn't do a test beforehand. So wasted the whole night on yeah. So that was really fun. That was really fun. I was pretty upset. Because now I have to call everybody back and see if we can do it again. And it's hard to like part of the podcast format for especially for Double Critical is kind of like running ideas by other people and getting their reactions. Well, what do you think of this? Or let me run this one by you. How about that? You know, and so it's going to be hard to kind of try and replicate that when we've already done it. Maybe there'll be a couple of new things. But yeah, it's so definitely watch for whenever we get the next episode of Double Critical. We're on Podbean and also on Apple Podcasts now, so you can find us in 2 different places. And I added a page of Crabbok.com. If you go to Crabbok.com, there's actually a Double Critical page up there now, which you can go. You can listen to the podcasts straight there from Crabbok.com, or if you want to, subscribe in your feed to one of the other platforms, you can do that as well. Yeah, but let's see. Was supposed to do some gaming this weekend. Looks like that's certainly not going to happen. Schools are closed. How many of you guys have kids that are out of school? I don't really know what single parents that have a job are supposed to do when their kids are now out of school for like 2 months or whatever. You're just supposed to you're supposed to leave them home alone and still go to work, like hopefully this like relief stuff gets here soon. And I don't even know what they're gonna do, but I know for a lot of people, like $1,000 a month is not gonna cut it. That's not gonna even cover your bills, let alone take care of food and some kind of entertainment for being stuck at home for 2 months. I don't know. So it's going to be real interesting days ahead. But yeah. Well, let's see what else we got going on. There's some more Kickstarter stuff coming up soon. Wolfenstein, the board game, that one is going live at the end of the month. That one's going live on Kickstarter, and that one's really cool. I think you guys are gonna like that. It's got some really cool looking miniatures too. Yeah, it looks great. So Wolfenstein, the board game, be on the lookout for that. Let's see, I haven't been doing a whole lot of Kickstarter videos lately. It's been kind of a slow season for Kickstarter. For those of you who do back Kickstarters, sometimes I'll do Kickstarter preview videos. Somebody says Scythe. Yes, Shah says Scythe. Yeah, Scythe is a pretty cool board game. I like Scythe. It's got the resource management, also has the beautiful components. It's a fun one. I have played that a few times. I had a slightly negative experience my last time playing it, but it wasn't a deal breaker. But I haven't had the opportunity to play it since. All right, so let's see what else is there we've got to talk about. We've got new stuff coming soon for Legion. Hopefully soon an announcement for Armada. Hopefully soon the announcement on what the expansion is going to be for Outer Rim. Have you guys played Outer Rim? This was one of those. I think this was the first game I ever gave a bad review for, and it wasn't even a bad review. It was just a balanced review, where like the first game that had some actual negative remarks. Not all negative remarks. It's still a fun game. I bought it, but of course I keep it on my shelf. I don't play it as much anymore. I'm really at the point right now where I played it a lot when it first came out, because I beta tested Outer Rim too, which was I don't think I have my name in the credits. I don't think you get playtester credit for beta testing, because that's usually like the rulebook's already done and everything, and they're just like any last minute changes before we send this to print. But so I already knew how to play before the game came out. So when it first came out, I was teaching everybody how to play. So I didn't have a very good time playing Outer Rim for the first month or so that it was out, just because every game was a tutorial. And it's hard to really enjoy yourself in a game like that when nobody else knows how to play, because I can't really try to win because I've got to really teach everybody. So it's more fun to play against people who are also trying to, who know how to play, and you kind of get that whole thing going on. But no, Outer Rim is it's got a lot of potential, and it's got a lot of good things going for it. It just needs a little bit more. There's certain aspects of it that could be developed a little bit more. There's certain things like the patrols. I want the patrols to feel more meaningful. Player versus player, I think you need to have an option to play with that and make that more meaningful, because there's certain characters that can do player versus player stuff, but for the most part it's here's this whole game, and and by the way, you can do a single instance of player versus player. Sounds like it's pretty meaningless. It's kind of meaningless. It's almost like everybody's just playing their own game, and just whoever happens to win their own game first just wins. And okay, that's fine, but and Imperial Assault has more coming in a couple years, so that one's still going to be a ways out, but that's exciting for Imperial Assault players. That was definitely felt like a very early seed getting planted. Let's see what else is new. April's just around the corner. How many April Fool's jokes do you think we're gonna see? How many? I wonder. And that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and start packing things up here, and I have to go back to work, because fortunately I'm lucky and I still get to go back to work. Let me see if we got any more questions before I go. Am I planning to update my AI cards for Armada? Okay, so that's actually a really good question. No, not at the moment. I'm going to update the system, but not the cards themselves. So here is my plan to update. And I'm actually, one of the things I'm planning on doing is, if I end up losing my job, or if I can manage the time, I want to do some live stream plays with the AI system. But what I want to do is a simple change. Since we have Salvo as a new defense mechanic that's not currently on any of the cards, the rule is the simplest and the cleanest update to the same system is, in addition to whatever defense token gets spent, the computer will always salvo, or the AI will always salvo if they can. So I think that's just the easiest way for it to go. And yeah, so think of salvo as being everywhere. So it kind of ups the AI's difficulty a little bit more, since now they have the chance to spend 2 defense tokens instead of just 1. So yeah, that's the cleanest change. It doesn't require a reprint of the cards, and since I have a certain kind of balance of how I have the distribution of the defense tokens on those cards, adding 1 more would cause me to have to redo like the whole deck, and yeah, that's something I didn't want to do right now. I'm curious from some of you guys though, and I might have to make like a poll on this, but if I were to like print out like high quality decks, how many people would be interested in purchasing something like that? Not sure, the legality of doing something like that too. So it's probably something I wouldn't end up doing. Plus I prefer just to have free stuff available. Oh, and all the stuff is available for free on Crabbok.com. If you go to, I have custom content on there. If you go, I think it's under videos and there's custom content. But yeah, like I've got a lot of free stuff on Crabbok.com. If you're looking for extra expansions, I've got a whole player-made expansion for titles for every ship on there. I've got the Deep Space Nine expansion. That would be a fun one to do with the AI system, is to attack Deep Space Nine. So that would be a pretty fun one. We'll have to see how that goes. All right, guys. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Stay safe, wash your hands, and have a good one. I will talk to you later.